Your brain is not reading your goals, it is seeing them. Your deepest, most ancient neural networks consistently bypass the meticulously crafted words of your New Year's resolutions and your 5-year plans, instead locking onto the vivid, visceral imagery of your world. This fundamental biological truth explains precisely why traditional goal setting so often dissolves into frustration. Today, you are going to understand how your reticular activating system, a crucial neural filter within your brain, processes visual information to either ignite or extinguish your potential. We will uncover how this system, your brain's intrinsic GPS for opportunities, can be deliberately programmed through consistent, targeted visual input, transforming your aspirations into an actively perceived reality. Consider for a moment the sheer volume of sensory data but bombarding your brain every single second. If you're planning to buy a specific model of car, suddenly you notice that car everywhere. Not because more of them appeared, but because your RAS was primed to highlight them. However, when it comes to your goals, your abstract ambitions for career growth, financial freedom, or personal mastery, most people present their RAS with nothing more than a few lines of text on a spreadsheet. Here is the critical insight. Your primal brain, the ancient part responsible for survival and emotion, does not naturally speak the language of written words. It responds to images, feelings, and immediate sensory input. A text-based goal, like increase revenue by 20%, is an abstract concept that your rational, linguistic prefrontal cortex can understand. But your RAS, it shrugs. It has no vivid image, no visceral cue, no urgent priority to scan for. It continues its default scan for immediate survival data, ignoring your carefully articulated aspirations. This concept is thoroughly explored in the groundbreaking work of Dr. Siegel and Siegel in their 2004 research on the neurological foundations of attention, which illuminates the RAS's pivotal role in sensory gating and attentional bias. Your brain's default programming is designed for the savannah, not the boardroom. And if your RAS isn't actively searching for pathways to your goals, you are effectively navigating with a blank map. It simply does not register the opportunities unfolding all around you. Now, imagine an alternate reality. What if your internal GPS wasn't just working, but was supercharged, constantly beaming signals to you, highlighting every single relevant piece of information, every potential connection, every unexpected resource that aligns with your biggest ambitions? This is the profound shift that occurs when you learn to speak your brain's true language, the language of visual programming. Consider two hypothetical individuals, both with identical aspirations to launch a revolutionary new product. The first individual, we'll call them Alex, diligently outlines their product specifications, market research, and financial projections in detailed documents. Their rational mind is fully engaged, processing every word. Alex works hard, follows their plan, but frequently feels overwhelmed, missing subtle cues in conversations, overlooking articles, or dismissing ideas that don't immediately fit their linear strategy. Opportunities are there, but they exist on the periphery of Alex's perception, often only recognized in hindsight. But then there's Beth. Beth still does the strategic planning, but she also invests 15 minutes every single day immersing her brain in a vivid, dynamic visual representation of her product's launch. She sees the product box, not just a design file, but a three-dimensional rendering glowing on a virtual shelf. She visualizes ecstatic customer testimonials, not just data points, but animated faces expressing genuine delight. She envisions the company dashboard displaying triumphant sales figures, not just numbers, but bold, upward trending graphs and vibrant colors. She even includes images of the specific type of meeting room where her team will celebrate their initial success. What happens to Beth's brain? Her RAS, that powerful internal filter, is no longer aimlessly scanning. It has a crystal clear, multifaceted target. Suddenly, a casual mention of a new manufacturing technique by a friend's colleague, previously dismissed as irrelevant small talk, registers with an internal ping. An article headline about a competitor's strategic pivot, previously skimmed over, now demands her full attention. A subtle gap in the market, previously unnoticed, flashes like a neon sign. This isn't magic, it's optimized neuroscience. Her brain is actively seeking, actively prioritizing, and actively creating neural pathways to recognize and seize these opportunities. This profound effect on recognition and self-perception was implicitly explored in the seminal work of Dr. Maxwell Maltz in Psycho-Cybernetics, first published in 1960. He highlighted how individuals' self-image, largely formed through internal visual representations, dictated their success and ability to achieve their goals, illustrating how our internal pictures profoundly shape our external reality. Your RAS, once primed with vivid, goal-oriented visuals, doesn't just passively observe, it actively shapes your perception, guiding your focus and influencing your decisions. It becomes a proactive search engine, constantly filtering the world for anything that brings you closer to your programmed vision. This doesn't just improve your recognition, it fundamentally rewires your attentional bias, making you a magnet for precisely the information and interactions you need. So, how do you deliberately program this incredible internal system to work for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Here are 3 precise brain-based techniques you can implement starting today. First, create a dynamic RAS vision board. Forget static magazine cutouts that gather dust. Your brain craves novelty and motion. Develop a digital collage, a short video loop, or even a revolving gallery of vibrant, high-definition images that represent your achieved goals. These should not be generic pictures. They must be specific, emotionally resonant, and depict the outcome of your success. If your goal is to launch a product, show the product in the hands of happy customers. If it's financial, show the specific impact of that financial gain, a new learning facility, a donation receipt, or a tranquil landscape that financial freedom allows you to experience. Make this board accessible and change out at least one image every week to keep your RAS engaged. The optimal times for engaging with this dynamic visual input are 15 minutes upon waking, when your brain is transitioning from delta to alpha states and is highly suggestible, and again for 15 minutes just before sleep, as your mind prepares for consolidation during REM cycles. This consistent, twice-daily visual immersion bypasses the rational mind, implanting your desired future directly into your subconscious filtering system. Have you ever truly considered what your brain is doing during those crucial moments? Second, implement the future self-sensory anchor. This technique leverages multisensory input to create an immediate, visceral connection to your achieved future. Choose one major goal you're pursuing. Now, identify one tangible physical item that the future you, having achieved that goal, would possess or interact with daily. This isn't about luxury, it's about symbolism. Perhaps it's a specific brand of pen you imagine signing crucial contracts with, a unique type of coffee mug that sits on the desk of your successful future self, or even a particular scent you associate with the environment of your triumph. For 5 minutes at the very beginning of your workday, consciously interact with this item. Hold the pen, feel its weight, imagine the signature. Sip from the mug, inhaling the aroma, picturing the view from your future office. The critical element here is the deliberate activation of multiple senses, sight, touch, smell, associating these immediate sensory inputs with the emotional state of having already achieved your goal. Your ARS begins to link these tangible cues with the search query for success, making you more attuned to opportunities when you engage your senses. This is a scientific reframe, by the way, of what many mistakenly call manifestation. This is simply programming your brain's recognition system. Third, practice opportunity mapping, visualization. Instead of merely visualizing the end goal, actively visualize yourself spotting and seizing the opportunities that lead to it. Ask yourself, what would an opportunity look like? How would it feel when you recognize it? If your goal is to secure a new client, visualize yourself reading an email that hints at a need you can fulfill, or overhearing a conversation where a pain point is mentioned. Picture the specific visual cues, the keywords, the nonverbal signals you would detect. Dedicate 10 minutes once a day to this exercise, perhaps during a midday break when your focus might naturally wane. Visualize the actual act of recognition, that internal click when your ARS flags something as relevant. Then, visualize yourself taking immediate, decisive action. This pre-activates the neural circuits for both recognition and response, making you significantly faster and more accurate when genuine opportunities arise. It's like performing a mental rehearsal, teaching your brain what to look for and how to react long before the actual event. This is not some abstract self-help hack. You are not just setting goals, you are systematically programming your brain's most powerful filtering mechanism. You are moving beyond merely wishing for success and consciously installing a robust internal navigation system, constantly scanning your environment, alerting you to every relevant data point, every potential connection, every unexpected resource. You are transforming from someone who merely hopes to someone who actively perceives and therefore creates their path to achievement. You are learning to speak your brain's language, working with its ancient, powerful architecture, rather than struggling against it with abstract words and fleeting intentions. You are becoming a conscious architect of your own perception, directing your brain's incredible capacity to seek and find. This profound understanding of your reticular activating system and its visual programming is not merely a strategy, it is an operating principle for the human mind. Apply these precise techniques, recalibrate your brain's internal compass, prepare to perceive a world that is now relentlessly aligned with your greatest ambitions. And if this understanding of your brain's power has opened your eyes to new possibilities, just wait until you uncover the next fundamental principle of neurological optimization that could elevate your impact even further.